The Lakers and the Warriors are interested in Goran Draghi. The San Antonio Spurs and Goran Dragic are expected to negotiate a contract buyout in the coming week, clearing the way for a formidable list of free agent suitors for Dragic that now include the Los Angeles Lakers and Golden State Warriors. Sources told ESPN. A source, Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN. What's the buzz on Twitter? Adrian Wojnarowski at Wojspin. Goran Dragic and the Spurs are expected to negotiate a contract buyout in the coming week, clearing the way to a formidable list of free agent suitors for Dragic that now includes the Lakers. ES.PN/3BVK5B7. 8 p.m. Eric Kareen at Ekareen. Really impressive work by #GameOps to get rid of all the Dragic clips in the intro video. 7:36 p.m. Aaron Rose at Aaron Ben Rose. For those wondering, as I was, Goran Dragic is out for tonight's Spurs game. He is not with the team. PIC at twitter.com/DUALT1C0P0. 7:30 p.m. Tom Morsporn at Tom Morsporn. Per their injury report, the Spurs will be without the following players tonight here in New Orleans: Bates, Diop, Collins, Dragic, Langford, Richardson. 1:55 p.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA. Tomas Satoransky is not on the Spurs injury report. Collins, KBD, Richardson, Langford, and Dragic all out. 1:45 p.m. Jerry Wolfel at Jerry Wolfel. Prior to the trade deadline, I noted the Bucks had interest in Goran Dragic. That interest hasn't waned. Bucks, Suns and Mavs appear to be the frontrunners for the veteran guard. 6 p.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA. Trey Jones is available tonight per Spurs. Dragic, Satoransky, Richardson, and Langford are all out. 5:56 p.m. Ryan Wolstat at Wolstat. Sun Raptors say Fred VanVleet is questionable for tomorrow's game against Denver. Finally, Goran Dragic is off the report, and one would assume Thad Young could make his debut if logistics work. 4:10 p.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLu. 10:50 Ujiri on Dragic. At the end of the day, I think Goran was looking for a contending team. Goran came in here, was a great professional, did everything that we asked, and then Goran had a personal situation, difficult situation. A little bit, but he acted in a professional way. 2:51 p.m. Tom Morsporn at Tom Morsporn. Spurs injury report submitted to league lists. Dragic and Satoransky as out. Trey Jones is questionable. For Atlanta, Lou Williams is questionable. 9:25 a.m. Callie Kaplan at Callie Kaplan. Nico Harrison on whether Mavs will explore buyout market after today's trade. I think we're set. Goran Dragic followers, beware. 11:20 p.m. Brad Townsend at Townbrad. Nico Harrison says he believes the roster is set. That's a strong indication the Mavericks won't pursue Dragic in the buyout market. Harrison's response was to a question about the buyout market. So there you have it. 11:19 p.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLu. 10:50 Kevin Porter Jr. has scored more points for the Raptors than Goran Dragic in 2022. 10:29 p.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA. Spurs injury report for Friday at Atlanta. Out Goran Dragic, Tomas Satoransky, Derek White. Trade not official yet, but should be soon. Questionable Trey Jones. 6:11 p.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA. Once today's deals are official, the Spurs will be $14.7 million over the cap this season and $9.4 million from the luxury tax. Once Dragic is waived, the team will have an open roster spot. 5:53 p.m. Eric Kareen at Ekareen. Nobody is talking about the storybook full circle moment: Dragic being traded to the team that drafted him. 4:15 p.m. Eric Kareen at Ekareen. Come relive the highlight of the Goran Dragic era in Toronto. When I quizzed him about his career, theathletic.com/2891929/2021/1. 3:36 p.m. RJ Marquez at KSATRJ. Spurs officially announced Dragic deal. He is expected to be bought out, but San Antonio gets a protected 2022 first-round pick from Toronto. #KS8 Sports. #Go Spurs Go. PIC at twitter.com/KRGLonMealy. 3:34 p.m. Brian Geltzeiler at BGeltz. NBA. 4 names I would figure would be in this buyout market: Dennis Schroeder, Goran Dragic, Kemba Walker, and NS Cantor Freedom. 3:32 p.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA. Dragic trade official per Spurs. Spurs get Dragic, protected 2022 first. Raptors get Young, Eubanks, and second. 3:25 p.m. Brady Hawk at Brady Hawk. 3:05 Heat ain't make a trade, but they just sat back and watched Goran Dragic, Justice Winslow, and Josh Richardson get moved at the same deadline, plus KZ Okpala and Bol. They were making trades in the wrong era. 3:21 p.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLu. 10:50 The Raptors make their lone deadline day trade official: Goran Dragic and a lottery-protected 2022 first-rounder to San Antonio, with Thad Young, Drew Eubanks and Detroit's 2022 second-rounder coming back. Bobby Webster will speak to the media at 4 p.m. 3:18 p.m. Aaron Rose at Aaron Ben Rose. The Raptors have officially announced the Goran Dragic for Thad Young and Drew Eubanks deal. 3:16 p.m. Tim Chisholm at Tim Kashom. Now that we've hit 3 p.m. I think the Raptors trade was just fine. Raps canvassed the league for what their assets could buy, and this is what they could buy. In my eyes, that's better than not doing the trade and buying Dragic out. 3:02 p.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLU 1050. Goran Dragic was a Toronto Raptor. Think of all the bets you'll be able to win with that one day. PIC at twitter.com/5EKU won a lot. 1:55 p.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heatbeat NBA trade deadline updates. Blockbuster Harden Simmons deals changes face of East for conference leading Heat, Josh Richardson to Spurs, plus, Dragic, Okpala, much more. Sun-Sentinel.com/sports/Miami-H. 1:48 p.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heatbeat NBA trade deadline updates. Blockbuster Harden Simmons deals changes face of East for conference leading Heat. Sun-Sentinel.com/sports/Miami-H plus updates on Okpala, Dragic, more. 1:24 p.m. Kurt Helen at Basketball Talk Raptors trade Goran Dragic to Spurs for Thaddeus Young. NBA NBCSports.com/2022/02/10/rap. 1:21 p.m. Ryan Wolstadt at Wolstadt's on Fred VanVleet out tonight with groin soreness. Goran Dragic is on Raptors injury report for last time too because trade isn't official. 1:12 p.m. Aaron Rose at Aaron Benrose. The Raptors tell us that Goran Dragic remains out and remains not with the team for tonight's game. PIC at twitter.com/DPXASDIW0X. 1:12 p.m. Callie Kaplan at Callie Kaplan. Mavs appear closer to reuniting Luka Doncic and Goran Dragic after reported trade. Likely buyout. DallasNews.com/sports/Maverick. 1 p.m. Brad Townsend at Townbrad. Couple of Dragic tidbits. The Spurs actually drafted him in 2008. His rights to Phoenix. Also, noted many times, but bears repeating. Dragic and Doncic both represented by Bill Duffy. 12:45 p.m. Taz Maylaz at Taz Maylaz. New link. Bagley, DiVincenzo, Ibaka, Dragic, Thad and more. Going live on YouTube right now, youtube.be/SVG7Z25ZPBA. 12:43 p.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heatbeat NBA trade deadline updates. Plenty of Heat-related updates here, including sunsentinel.com/sports/Miami-H. Dragic likely to soon be able to sign with team of his choice. Ibaka, Young likely not longer buyout candidate. KZ Okpala may soon be looking for new home. 12:40 p.m. Anthony Chang at Anthony Chang. Should be noted that I have not yet heard of any Heat interest in bringing back Goran Dragic. At Adrian Wojnarowski reported that Dallas, Milwaukee, Chicago, Clippers are expected to be interested in Dragic once he agrees to a buyout with the Spurs. 12:37 p.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLU 1050 after swapping Dragic for Young and Eubanks. 12 of the 15 players on the Raptors NBA roster are between the height of 6'7" and 6'9". Everybody except VanVleet, Trent and Flynn. 12:29 p.m. Chad Ford at Chad Ford Insider didn't expect the Raptors to give up this year's first round pick to move Goran Dragic deal. Interesting. Not sure if that says a lot about Thad Young or pessimism about the depth of the 2022 draft. It's currently projected as the 19th pick. 12:23 p.m. Keith Smith at Keith Smith NBA. I think Drew Eubanks will slide into the remainder of the Kyle Lowry TPE. For Toronto, that will create a $5.25 million TPE for the Raptors of the difference between Goran Dragic's and Thaddeus Young's salaries. 12:20 p.m. Mark Medina at Mark G. Medina might take some time for Goran Dragic to negotiate a buyout with the Spurs. As expected, as at Chris Haynes first reported, there's interest with the Mavs. Dragic intrigued with Nets, Warriors, Clippers, Bulls, too, but TBD on how that plays out. 12:19 p.m. The Vertical at Yahoo Sports NBA. The Mavericks will be the favorites to sign Goran Dragic after his expected buyout from the Spurs, per at Chris Haynes. PIC at twitter.com/deepbasedulai. 12:14 p.m. Anthony Chang at Anthony Chang. Goran Dragic is on the move and it looks like he'll negotiate a buyout with his new team. More on that and other stuff on our Heat trade deadline tracker, miamiherald.com/sportsba/mia. 12:09 p.m. Doug Smith at Smith Raps. Raptors get, by all accounts, a high-character veteran who can make a shot. A free look at Eubanks and don't eat into a sense of future financial flexibility for an organization that very much likes its core. Seems a pretty good return for Dragic's contract. 12:09 p.m. Mike Finger at Mike Finger. So, assuming Dragic isn't around long, this is the Spurs net haul for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green in 2018. Jacob Poeltl, Keldon Johnson. Toronto's 2022 first, Chicago's 2025 first, Chicago's 2025 second. Both first-rounders have protections, but look likely to convey. 12:08 p.m. Michael Dugat at Doug. I have concerns about what Dragic will be able to contribute on the court now, but not with what he can provide off the court and as a possible mentor to Luka. 12:07 p.m. Eurohoops at Eurohoopsnet. Raptors trading Goran Dragic to Spurs for Thad Young. Spurs expected to negotiate a contract buyout. Mavs, Bucks, Bulls, Clippers interested in free agent Dragic. Eurohoops.net/ENBA-news/13. 12:05 p.m. Joe Cowley at J. Cowley Hoops. Dragic fits the description Billy Donovan and AK want in adding to this roster. A player that knows his role and won't get disgruntled if playing time dwindles as bodies get healthy. 12:04 p.m. Chris Haynes at Crispy Haynes upon completion of an expected buyout between Goran Dragic and the San Antonio Spurs, the Dallas Mavericks will be the favorites to add the veteran point guard. League sources tell at Yahoo Sport. 12:03 p.m. Shams Charania at Shams Charania. Sources, full Spurs Raptors deal, Raptors, Thad Young, Drew Eubanks, 2022 Pistons second rounder. Spurs, Goran Dragic, Toronto 2022 first rounder. 12:02 p.m. Mark Deeks at Mark Deeks. NBA. Spurs traded away Goran Dragic for Tadija Dragicevic in 2007. Traded Thaddeus Young to get him back 15 years later, and then immediately bought him out. Mixed messages. 12:02 p.m. Jake Fisher at Jake L. Fisher. Goran Dragic and Dante DiVincenzo had been two of the most discussed names on the trade market. We'll be breaking down all the deals that did and did not happen with at Michael Scotto on at the Halftime from 4 to 5 Eastern Time. Download to listen here, the Halftime app. 12 p.m. Aaron Rose at Aaron Ben Rose. The Goran Dragic for Thad Young trade makes me feel. 11:59 a.m. Paul Garcia at Paul Garcia. NBA interested to see what draft compensation the Spurs are getting for Dragic. 11:58 a.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heat beat NBA trade deadline Heat updates. Thunder may not keep KZ Okpala. Dragic could become available to Heat after Spurs deal. sun-sentinel.com/sports/Miami-H. 11:58 a.m. Adrian Wojnarowski at Wojspin. ESPN sources, the Spurs, who are trading for Toronto's Goran Dragic, are expected to negotiate a contract buyout with Dragic. Among the interested expected to be interested once he becomes a free agent, Dallas, Milwaukee, Chicago, Clippers. 11:57 a.m. Mike Lynch at Sportinfo. 247 Thad for Dragic is the first time in NBA history two lefties with over 12K career points have been swapped. #Madupstat. 11:54 a.m. Keith Smith at Keith Smith. NBA that Dragic Young deal seems weird. 11:54 a.m. Emiliano Carquia at Sportando. Raptors trade Dragic to Spurs for Young. Sportando.basketball/n/Raptors. 11:53 a.m. Michael Grange at Michael Grange. I can confirm Goran Dragic being traded to Spurs for Thad Young. I presume there will be other pieces given salary disparity. 11:53 a.m. Brady Hawk at Brady Hawk. 305 Goran Dragic to the Spurs screams buyout but Thad Young going to Toronto. Feels like it eliminates that buyout option for Miami. 11:52 a.m. Vivek Jacob at Vivek Jacob. Thad Young will bring solid defense across a couple positions, playmaking, and a veteran presence in the locker room. Has a good relationship with OG Anunoby as well. He'll represent a good return for Dragic. 11:52 a.m. Michael Dugat at Doug. Funniest ending. Dragic gets bought out and signed somewhere else. Lakers would be the funniest, just because. 11:51 a.m. TJ McBride at TJMC Bride. NBA. I love Masai flipping Dragic for Thad Young. Another versatile wing who can help on offense and defend multiple positions. Toronto is going to be a handful in the playoffs. 11:50 a.m. John Hamm at John M. Ham Pop. We have a chance to trade for Goran Dragic 14 years after selling the pick. That would have drafted him. PIC at twitter.com/S7NOLMF9QX. 11:49 a.m. Shams Charania at Shams Charania. The Toronto Raptors are trading Goran Dragic to the San Antonio Spurs for Thad Young, sources tell at The Athletic at Stadium. 11:47 a.m. Dan Favale at Dan Favale. Very curious to see what a Kristaps to Toronto deal would look like given how close the Raptors are to the tack. Is it Dragic Boucher-Kem? And is Dallas getting a pick? Or is this a straight salary slashing in advance of free agency for Jalen and DFS? 11:21 a.m. Jake Fisher at Jake L. Fisher. Word first started making the rounds last night, and discussion of a framework where Kristaps Porzingis potentially heads to Toronto has since circulated around NBA front offices. There's of course mutual interest in bringing Goran Dragic to Dallas. Unclear how serious talks are. 11:09 a.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heat beat NBA trade deadline Heat updates. Thunder may not keep KZ Okpala. Harden Simmons could redefine East. sun-sentinel.com/sports/Miami-H plus a possible deal involving both Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn. 11:08 a.m. Ira Winderman at Ira Heat beat NBA trade deadline Heat updates. Thunder may not keep KZ Okpala. Goran Dragic, Kendrick Nunn could be on the move. sun-sentinel.com/sports/Miami-H. 10:16 a.m. Aaron Rose at Aaron Ben Rose. How have you felt about the Goran Dragic situation? 9:38 a.m. Josh Lewenberg at JLew. 10:50 some pre-trade deadline reading on the Raptors' approach to trade day, hoping to add depth without subtracting from their core. https /t.co/il4r Byrie KC and on the Goran Dragic of it all. https /t.co/3xoirx6pwpic at twitter.com/5srn9rhc9h 9:13 a.m. Michael Scotto at Mike Scotto sources, Lakers, Knicks and Raptors discussed a three-team trade with Cam Reddish and Alec Burks going to Lakers, Goran Dragic and picks to Knicks, Talon Horton-Tucker and Nerlens Noel to Raptors. More on where talks stand and Kendrick Nunn in the story. https /t.co/m1pycuckmfppic at twitter.com/dlnmlkp tip. 8:02 a.m. Michael Scotto at Mike Scotto sources, the Lakers, Knicks and Raptors have discussed a three-team trade. Lakers get Cam Reddish and Alec Burks. Knicks get Goran Dragic and draft pick. Raptors get Talon Horton-Tucker and Nerlens Noel. There's also a chance Kendrick Nunn is added to the trade as talks continue. 2:30 a.m. Jake Fisher at Jake L. Fisher Toronto appeared quite active in trade conversations Wednesday night. Various Goran Dragic scenarios. Lakers and Raptors have discussed Talon Horton-Tucker, sources said. But any notion that deal is serious has been miscategorized by Mark Stein and my listener. 1:26 a.m. More on this storyline. Ira Winderman, been told that Goran Dragic is coming to tonight's game versus. So there's that. Via Twitter at IraHeatBeat/February 12, 2022 the Lakers and Warriors are planning to join several rivals, including the LA Clippers, Milwaukee Bucks, Chicago Bulls and Brooklyn Nets, in aggressive pursuit of Dragic, sources said. Via ESPN/February 12, 2022 Mark Stein. Dallas roster needs changed post-trade and altered the long-held expectation they would pursue Goran Dragic in the buyout market. As I reported earlier, Dragic's expected buyout may not happen quickly and he is projected to draw interest from teams with a larger role to offer. Via Twitter at the Steinline/February 11, 2022.